be a player on a team that was really successful in that situation was a whole bunch of fun.
Matthew Stafford is going to the Super Bowl this February along with the rest of his team in the Los Angeles Rams. But who is the man behind the victory? Well, this guy has unsurprisingly always been insane at football, even in his younger varsity college years. It seems that Stafford was a pretty surefire pick for the NFL draft. And now, having played professionally since 2008, Stafford is ready to take on the biggest arena there is for football in Los Angeles. Having just beat out the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday night for the championship, Stafford got 2 touchdown passes and an interception in the win. An insane victory that led to the Rams winning the game 20-17. And now, with the Super Bowl set for February 13th, let's take a look at the man who led his team to victory. To kick off our Super Bowl series is the NFL quarterback for the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford. But I'd love to hear your suggestions for future videos in the comments down below, Super Bowl or otherwise. And please like this video for more content just like it. We've got tons on the way. John Matthew Stafford was born in Tampa, Florida, but moved shortly to a town in Georgia while his father attended university. Stafford went to high school at Highland Park when his family moved to Texas, and it was there that he began his career in football. He was coached by Randy Allen while in high school, Allen being one of the best football coaches in Texas. Matthew was widely considered to be one of the best high school quarterbacks in the United States for the 2006 class, and he seemed to have an insanely bright future ahead of him. While still playing in high school, he led his team to a perfect 15-0 winning record and won them the UIL state championships. His reputation as such a great player led Mel Kiper Jr., a football analyst for ESPN, to correctly predict that Stafford would be an NFL draft before he was even at collegiate level. Quote, "Matthew Stafford eventually will be the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Write that down." In 2006, Stafford graduated early from high school and enrolled at the University of Georgia, where he became a freshman quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, a feat that hadn't been accomplished since the 1990s. In a movie-like scene, the starting quarterback was injured and Stafford was forced to come off the bench. Although he had only just begun his training, he won Georgia that game in an 18-0 landslide victory. He was put on the start in their next game and won the team a whopping 34-0, and a few more victories meant that Stafford had an unbeatable 5-0 record. As time went on, despite suffering a few losses, Stafford was named the starting quarterback for the team despite still being a freshman. By 2008, Matthew was given the choice to leave school early to begin his professional career. Several NFL analysts had predicted that Stafford would be the #1 pick in the 2009 NFL Draft. Less than 24 hours before the draft, the Detroit Lions scooped up Stafford in a deal that was, at the time, the most expensive one made, with $41.7 million in guaranteed salary for a 6-year contract. The move was insane and led to Stafford officially joining the Detroit Lions on their roster in 2009. When he began his professional career in 2009, the Lions head coach immediately made Matthew the starting quarterback. He was the first rookie quarterback for the Lions to start since the 1960s. Stafford played a game against the Washington football team and won with a 19-14 victory. This game was significant because it broke the 19-game losing streak that had taken them all the way back to 2007. Their 2-year loss streak was finally over with Matthew Stafford at the helm, steering the ship. He led his team to victory, and when he was temporarily put on injury reserve for a minor knee injury, the team wouldn't win another game without him. That being said, as the years passed, Stafford's reputation would begin to dim. He was working with a team that made wins not uncommon, but certainly not as expected as they had been in the past. He had some good years with the Lions, namely 2011 and 2016, in which he did insanely well. Despite his team not winning as often, his personal records continued to soar. He was the fastest player to reach the milestone of 3,000th career completion in his 125th career game. He also consistently ranked in the upper echelon for top 100 NFL players of the year. It seemed that Matthew hadn't gotten worse, just that his work within the Detroit Lions didn't always necessarily pan out to a victory. The NFL even reported that when Matthew was traded to the Los Angeles Rams, Stafford had, quote, spent 12 years with the lowly Detroit Lions, went 0-3 in the postseason, and was saddled with the distinction of a good quarterback who couldn't win a big game. It seems that that would carry with him, a star quarterback who just couldn't seem to pull the rest of his team up to his level. In 2021, Matthew was traded to the Rams for Jared Goff. The first game he played with the Los Angeles Rams, he threw 321 yards and scored 3 touchdowns, achieving a career-best passer rating and winning the game with 34-14. This game earned him the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Thus began the rise of Matthew Stafford in a way we hadn't seen since his college days. Matthew threw and scored so many touchdowns that he may as well have set up a tent in the NFC Offensive Player of the Week honor. He even won against his former team, the Detroit Lions, in Week 7 of the season with 3 touchdowns and a 28-19 win. It seemed that with his new team, Stafford was once again interacting with the team that fit his playstyle. He set franchise records for pass completions, pass attempts, and passing yards, while tying with another player for passing touchdowns in a single season. The man is a beast, and now he's finally got the team to back him up and prove that he has the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks out there. And now, after 13 seasons, Matthew led the LA Rams into the NFC Championship last weekend to decide who would become the team to face off the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2022 Super Bowl. He played against the San Francisco 49ers. In the first quarter of the game, the Rams were down 7-17, and it seemed like a dismal game with the 49ers having such an insane head start. But Stafford managed to drive his team down the field, and he scored a touchdown to his wide receiver, cutting the deficit by 14-17. By the fourth and final quarter, Stafford had 2 more drivers which amounted in field goals, and the Rams took the lead with less than 2 minutes to go until the end of the game. The game was sealed when one final score was made and finished with the Rams winning 20-17. That means that the 49ers had not scored a single goal since the first quarter. It's such an insane victory for Matthew Stafford and his team, ones that we will see the results of in February with the Super Bowl. The game itself will be in the Rams' home stadium, SoFi Stadium. After the championship, Stafford was quoted as saying, quote, "Long time coming, you know? Spent a lot of years in this league, and I've loved every minute of it. I feel blessed to be able to play in this league for as long as I have, but I sure am happy for this opportunity, not only for myself, but really so many guys in that locker room that deserve this too." And that's what it is. It's an opportunity to go out there and win another one. The trade that brought Stafford to the Rams in exchange for an okay quarterback, Jared Goff, certainly proved beneficial, who, quote, "can open up the operation and make plays in the heat of the crucible." The coach for the LA Rams himself said, quote, "What he's done, he's elevated everybody around him. He's made me a better coach, he's made his teammates better, he's such a great person. If you don't root for this guy, something's wrong with you." And honestly, that's what I've seen from his fans too. Even Detroit Lions fans were rooting for Stafford, despite him no longer being part of the team, and everyone seems to want him to win, given how approachable and down-to-earth he seems in press interviews. I mean, the first thing he did when his team won was go up and hug his wife in a very sweet moment that was caught on video. And fan reactions to the win seems to be general shows of support for Stafford. His competing quarterback, Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals, seems to be equally as likable as Matthew is. One Twitter user, Chris Castellani of Barstool Sports, tweeted, quote, "Joe Burrow versus Matthew Stafford, gotta be one of the most likable quarterback matchups in Super Bowl history." It's a true comeback story, with the initial trade for Stafford being heavily scrutinized for his losses. And despite all that, with the right team by his side, Matthew and the LA Rams will be facing up against the Cincinnati Bengals in February of the 2022 Super Bowl. So who do you think is going to win this year's Super Bowl? How do you feel about Matthew Stafford and his story? Let us know in the comments down below, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content just like it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Where Are They Now? I've been your host, Sierra. See you next time.